Hello friends, welcome to Letstute Accountancy. We have already understood the accounting of not-for-profit organizations in our previous sessions. Also, we had solved problems based on that. But many a times it happens that even after practicing, we make some errors or mistakes while solving NPO sums in exams. So we have made this session specially to discuss important points regarding accounting of NPO, and we will also discuss common mistakes made in NPO sums so that you can avoid these in your exams. So let's get started. Firstly, many of the students directly start solving the question without reading it properly and end up with wrong or incomplete solution, which results in time wastage. So here, whenever you get the question paper, kindly read the questions very carefully and check the required part, whether they have asked you to prepare only income and expenditure account or the complete financial statement, that is income and expenditure account and balance sheet, or with that if the receipts and payment account is also required to be prepared or not. Accordingly, solve the question. Please make the formats properly with proper headings, as income and expenditure account prepared for the year ended and balance sheet is on particular date. But do not waste much time in just preparation of format. It has to be quick and neat. Next, when you read the question and if you find that the opening balance of capital fund is not given, do remember to prepare opening balance sheet as on the first day of the current year, and after posting the opening balances of assets and liabilities, and the difference of assets minus liabilities will give the opening balance of capital fund, which is to be transferred to year-end balance sheet, to which other adjustments are made to find out the closing balance of capital fund. But at this time, please do check whether it is the first year of the organization. If yes, then there would be no opening balances, no opening capital fund, and no opening outstanding or opening advance adjustments. Here, there is an opening balance in receipts and payment account. Therefore, this is not the first year of the organization. Now, while solving the sum, make sure to give only one effect of the items appearing in the receipts and payment account, as one effect is already there in this account. For example, if donations are given on the receipt side, it will be treated as income, assuming general donations, and credited to income and expenditure account. Another effect is already there as cash received on the receipt side of this account. When we solve adjustments, do remember to give equal debit and credit effects, as these are the actual transactions which needs to be accounted. For example, outstanding rent for the current year is given as 1300. Now this is the rent expense of the current year not yet paid. So firstly, it would be added to the rent on expenditure side, and since it is payable, it will be shown on the liability side of the year-end balance sheet. There are few other items and adjustments where students commonly make mistakes. So let us understand that so that you can avoid those mistakes. Items given on the payment side of the receipts and payment account can either be revenue or capital payment, that is, it can be expenses paid or paid for the purchase of asset. So accordingly, if it is revenue expense, it would be debited on expenditure side of the income and expenditure account. But if it is purchase of new asset or addition to any asset, then it will be written on the asset side of the balance sheet. So be careful while posting and don't make errors in this. Similar errors happen while posting receipt side item. Say for example, if it is revenue income like subscription, donations, any income from hosting any event, etc., then it would be credited on the income side of the income and expenditure account. But if it is capital receipt such as life membership fees or special donation like prize fund, building fund, etc., then it is to be shown on the liability side of the balance sheet. General donations are normally assumed as revenue, so income side, and special donations are written on the liability side. So be careful. As we have seen in NPO sums, one of the important and most common adjustment in such sums is subscription. So do practice more sums so as to avoid any mistake in such adjustment. Also over here, one common mistake observed is regarding the amount. Say for example, subscription outstanding at the beginning of the year was 500, and if out of 500 only 400 is received in the current year, then 100 will still be shown as outstanding at the end of the current year and will be shown in the closing balance sheet along with the current year's outstanding subscription amount. Another most common item in NPO sums is receipt from sale of asset. What students generally do is that they write such sale receipt on the income side, but that is incorrect. For example, on receipt side it is given that sale of furniture amounting to 3000 and the book value is 4000. Now how will you give effect for this? Firstly, we can say 4000 worth of asset is sold for 3000, so there is a loss of 1000. If we think of journal entry for this, it would be cash bank account debit 3000, loss on sale of furniture account debit 1000, to furniture account 4000. While giving the effects, bank receipt is already appearing on the receipt side, so no effect is to be given for that. Loss will be debited on expenditure side, and book value of assets sold will be deducted from total asset value in balance sheet. If book value is not given, then assume sale price is equal to the book value, so no profit or loss on sale, and so deduct that amount from the asset itself. Moving further, if there are any investments appearing on the asset side with rate of interest and date of purchase, do not forget to calculate the interest income on that, just the way we do in final accounts question. Check if there is any interest received, and balance, if any, will be interest accrued to be added to the interest income, and second effect goes on the asset side as interest accrued or outstanding, where either it can be shown as addition to the investment or as a separate line item. Same thing needs to be checked for any loan taken and interest expense on that. In case the rate of interest is not given, then this interest calculation is not possible. Next, be careful while calculating expense or consumption of stationery, stamps, etc. Say if opening stock and closing stock of stationery is given, then to the payment amount, which is current year's purchases, add opening stock which must have been utilized in the current year, so expense for the current year, and deduct closing stock which is unutilized, and these stocks will appear on the asset side of the balance sheet, opening stock in opening balance sheet and closing stock in closing balance sheet. Also with this, if there are any adjustments for outstanding or creditors or advance payments, then give the proper effects for the same like we do for any other income or expenses. If any items such as entrance fees, donations, etc. are to be capitalized, then add that much amount to the capital fund, and balance will be treated as revenue to be shown on the income side of the income and expenditure account. Needless to say, if there are any adjustment related to sale or purchase of fixed asset, then after those adjustments only calculate depreciation, and in hurry, don't forget to write depreciation amount on the expenditure side. Lastly, be careful while totaling. Capital fund balance from the opening balance sheet will go to the closing balance sheet on the liability side as opening balance of capital fund. Balancing figure of income and expenditure account, that is surplus or deficit, will be added if surplus or deducted if deficit from the capital fund, and finally our balance sheet should get tally at the correct figure. So that's it for today. We hope that you found this tips very useful. Please subscribe to our channel if you are new to this channel for more such videos on tips, tricks and other accounting concepts. And don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss an update from us. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you.